Most of the students feel this chapter to be difficult. So without wasting our time, we are going to start out with the chapter Carbon and its compounds. So let's start with the chapter Hydrocarbons. So here the main gist of the chapter, carbon and its compounds. So they are called hydrocarbons. Why the compounds of carbon are called hydrocarbon? Okay, as the compounds are mostly made up of carbon and hydrogen, so we call them hydrocarbon. So they are made up of hydrogen and carbon. Most important question, like why carbon forms most of the compounds? So why carbon forms most of the compounds, or what is the versatile nature of carbon? So here carbon forms most of the compound because of its tetravalency. Carbon forms most of the compounds due to its tetravalency. Carbon forms most of the compounds due to its tetravalency. It is tetravalent in nature. So what is tetravalency? How it is tetravalent? Carbon's atomic number. Coming to atomic number of carbon. Atomic number of carbon is 6. Thus its configuration is 2 and 4. So in its outermost shell it has got 4 electrons. Thus it needs 4 electrons to complete its octet. So it can complete its octet or duplet structure. Duplet means it can have 2 electrons in the outermost shell, or it can get 8 electrons in its outermost shell. So if it is getting 8 electrons in its outermost shell, then it will complete octet. For that it need to take 4 electrons from outside. So thus the carbon can complete its octet or duplet configuration either by accepting 4 electron or donating 4 electron. When carbon either accept or donate electron, both the cases are not possible. Okay, why carbon cannot accept 4 electron? The reason is if carbon accepts 4 electron, here its proton will be having 4. Like inside the nucleus there will be 4 protons, but outside electrons will increase to 10 and there will be high instability. And the same way, if carbon loses 4 electron, so there will be 4 protons inside the nucleus, whereas the number of electrons will be only 2. So again there is instability. So if it loses 4 electron, then also instability arises. If it accepts 4 electron, then also instability arises between the number of protons and electrons. In both the cases, carbon cannot exist. So thus the only option carbon has got, it can share the electrons. Carbon share electrons with any other 4 elements, either which will be providing 1 electron, or it can share with other elements which will be providing electrons and completing its octet configuration. So only option carbon is having to form the covalent compounds. So they can ask like why carbon forms covalent compound. Because of its peculiar nature, like its nucleus is having 4 protons, and if it will lose 4 electrons, there will be 4 protons, whereas number of electrons will decrease to 2. And if it accepts 4 electron, in that case protons will be 4, but number of electrons will be 10. In both the cases there will be instability, thus carbon can neither accept or donate electrons, so it does not form ionic compound. It can only form covalent compound by sharing its 4 outermost electrons with either 4 different elements or the same element. So thus it forms covalent compound. Now what are the nature of covalent compound? What are the properties of covalent compound? So that is also one of the important question. What is the property of covalent compound? The first property, covalent compounds are brittle in covalent compounds Ionic compounds property are given in your textbook. You can go through with the ionic compound property, which will come across metals and non-metal. Prepare that well. Now next topic related to carbon, like how we write the compounds. So first, depending on the number of carbon, we use prefix. Like if one carbon is there, we call it as meth. If two are there, eth. For 3, prop. For 4 carbon, but. 5, pent. If 6 are there, hex. Okay, Ayush, good morning. Carbon is tetravalent, 4 valence electrons, versatile, non-metal that forms strong covalent bond and can form chains by catenation. Very good. So here, like as per the Ayush comment, we can get one more question. Okay, one more question. I don't understand physics. How can I fix it? Please help me. Okay, we cannot complete all together. Now you are having few days in your hands. So go like one by one subject. Okay, physics, it's quite easy. Only you need little attention and electricity. And magnetism, only theory part is there. You're not going to get any numericals from there. Okay, first chapter, light, where like lens and mirror formula, they can ask questions based on that. But we are getting most of the numericals case study questions from electricity. So there only you need to concentrate. Okay, for numerical part. And first chapter, light, reflection, refraction, then what are the different, what are the laws of refraction, then different basic definitions, then ray diagrams, only that much is there. Then human eye, it's very easy, completely learning based chapter. Okay, next one. I already wished you, Ayush. As you forgot, I already wished you. फिर उसके बाद नेक्स्ट हमारा हो गया, बस इलेक्ट्रिसिटी में ही थोड़ा बहुत मेहनत करना है. इलेक्ट्रिसिटी के अगर फॉर्मूलेस अच्छे से याद रहते हैं तो इलेक्ट्रिसिटी करने में भी बिल्कुल प्रॉब्लम नहीं होगा. चैप्टर वो भी मतलब आराम से हो जाएगा. अभी हम लोग कार्बन एंड इट्स कंपाउंड्स कर रहे हैं. थोड़ा सा कॉपरेट अगर करोगे तो ये वाला चैप्टर का हम जल्दी से एक बार रिविज़न कर लें. इसके बाद जैसे फिजिक्स, केमिस्ट्री जो भी है, अगर मेरे को कमेंट सेशन में बताओगे तो हम लोग उसके हिसाब से डिवाइड करके रिविजन्स कर लें, जिससे कि सारे चैप्टर्स कंप्लीट हो सकें. ठीक है, जिसको जो भी चैप्टर में डिफ़िकल्टी है वी कैन गो थ्रू विद दैट. और बाकी जो पेपर सॉल्यूशंस बस सब होंगे वो मतलब खुद से थोड़े से सैम्पल पेपर सॉल्व कर लेना, तो जो भी डिफ़िकल्टी है वो क्लियर हो जाएगा. देखो, डिपेंडिंग ऑन नंबर ऑफ कार्बन एटम्स वी यूज़ द प्रीफिक्स मेथ, इथ, प्रोप, ब्यूट, पेंट, हेक्स. फिर इफ़ 7 इज़ देयर, हेप्ट. यहाँ तक अगर करते हो तो बहुत है. इसके बाद हमको कौन सा सफिक्स यूज़ करना है. इफ़ इट इज़ सिंगल बॉन्ड कंपाउंड, इन बिटवीन कार्बन कार्बन सिंगल बॉन्ड इज़ देयर, वी यूज़ ane as a suffix. If double bond is there, ene. If triple bond is there, we use ine. Next, what is the general formula of alkane? Okay, first hydrocarbons are divided into 2 categories. They are saturated hydrocarbons and unsaturated. So what are saturated? Saturated hydrocarbons are those which are having single bond between carbon and carbon atom. And unsaturated, when there is double or triple bond between. Vaishnavi, motor. So here carbon and carbon single bond is there. Here carbon and carbon double bond is there for unsaturated hydrocarbon. If single bond is there, we call them alkane derivative. If double bond is there, if double or triple bond is there, we call them alkene or alkyne derivative. For alkane, general formula is CnH2n plus 2. For alkene, CnH2n minus 2. And for alkyne, it is CnH2n. Okay. Now, after general formula, they can ask you to like any formula formation. So, easily you can find out that. So, this general formula is important for either homologous series or to get any formula of particular compound. Like if they will ask to write the formula of propene. So we need to divide it into 2 categories, prop stands for 3 number of carbons. And then if there is ene, there is double bond. So we'll have 3 carbons with double bond as ene is there between them. Now you need to satisfy with the number of hydrogen. So here carbon's valence is 4. So we need to put out 4 bondings. 1, 2, 3, 4. So बाकी सारे हाइड्रोजन हो गए. यहाँ पे 1, 2, 3 ऑलरेडी 3 हो गया तो एक हाइड्रोजन. अब यहाँ पे हमारे पास 3 हो रहे हैं तो यहाँ पे एक हाइड्रोजन आ गया. This carbon is having 2 bond, so 2 hydrogen. So formula कैसे हो रहा है? CH3 CH double bond CH2. So this is related to propene. यही अगर हमको पूछते हैं what is the formula of propyne? Yne is there, so we need to have 3 bonds between carbon and carbon. So this is your choice. Like 10th स्टैंडर्ड में हमको ये IUPAC नेमिंग में पूरा नंबरिंग के साथ नहीं देते हैं, इसलिए हम लोग इन जनरल कहीं पे भी बॉन्ड को लगा सकते हैं. तो अब यहाँ पे मैंने फर्स्ट कार्बन पे ट्रिपल बॉन्ड डाल दिया क्योंकि YNE है. YNE में हमारे पास ट्रिपल बॉन्ड होते हैं. तो इसके बाद हाइड्रोजन को काउंट करना है. 1, 2, 3, 4. यहाँ पे 4 हाइड्रोजन ऑलरेडी 4 वैलेंसी हो चुका है. यहाँ पे हमारे पास 3 वैलेंसी हो रहा है, एक हाइड्रोजन कम हो रहा है. यहाँ पे 1 हुआ है तो यहाँ पे हमको 3 वैलेंसी चाहिए, हाइड्रोजन 3 चाहिए. तो फॉर्मूला हो गया CH3C triple bond CH. So in this way you can make your own formulas if you have clear idea regarding what is the prefix used and what is the suffix we are getting. So here this is the first basic table. Then we'll be having functional group. So what are the different functional groups of this chapter we are having? So here functional group, if OH is there we call it as alcohol, and suffix we use ol. We'll replace ANE. E we will replace with ol. If CHO is there we call it as aldehyde. Al is used for this. If CO is there, this is ketone. ONE is used for that. Most of the students get confused with aldehyde and ketone. So let's learn quickly how to differentiate between them if structure was given. For aldehyde, C double bond O, H is there. So this functional group is always attached to last carbon for case of aldehyde. And for case of ketone, it will be the second carbon. Aldehyde, at least 3 carbons are needed. So the first member of aldehyde derivative, ketone derivative is propanol. Minimum 3 carbons are needed as double bond O. This ketone functional group can attach to the second carbon. For case of aldehyde, always it is present in the last carbon. So there's a difference between them. Don't get confused if any structure is given. Like if suppose they have given C double bond OH and then CH2 CH3, or C double bond O CH3 CH3. How to differentiate? In both the cases C double bond is there. So here we need to see like whether it is in the last carbon or the middle carbon. If it is in last carbon, belonging to aldehyde. If it is in the middle carbon, it is belonging to ketone derivative. So like that we can differentiate, and the naming could be done easily. Propanol, the propanol is the first member of ketone derivative. So again continuing with our functional group, if OH is there we call it as alcohol. OL is added in the last. If CHO is there we add the suffix al, we call it as aldehyde. If CO is there, ketone, ONE is added. If COOH is there, carboxylic acid, we add oic acid as suffix. If X is there, X represents halogen, chlorine, fluorine, bromine or iodine. For halogen, we use IDE, like if suppose chlorine is attached, CH3Cl is there, so we call it as chloromethane. A single carbon is there, chloromethane, or we can call it as methyl chloride. IDE could be used. So choice is yours. Like this will be the easiest one which you can remember easily. Now the last one is ester derivative, where it is RCOO dash, where R and R stands for alkyl derivatives. So here R could be like CH3 COO and R dash C2H5. R and R dash will be the different derivatives CH3 C2H5. So this is ethyl acetate, or we can call it as ethyl methyl ester. So this is the general one out of this chapter which we are going to remember. Like the first one, whenever you will start the revision of carbon chapter, like carbon and its compounds. So first go through with the beginning part. In the first page, they have given the melting point and boiling point of ethanol, ethanoic acid. So once you revise that table also, and then what is the versatile nature of carbon? Why carbon forms maximum number of compounds? Why carbon forms maximum number of compounds? There are two reasons. The first one is due to its small size, and the second one tetravalency, and the third one catenation. So carbon has got three different properties because of which it is versatile in nature. It's small in size due to its tetravalency and catenation. Carbon can form maximum number of compounds. Now what is catenation? Carbon can form a long chain by joining with other carbon atoms. So this property of forming a long chain is called catenation. After completing this topic, then why carbon forms covalent compound? So for that already I explained the reason. Its value, its atomic number is 6, so it can neither accept or neither completely donate or accept electrons, as its nucleus cannot hold. So thus it can share the electrons. So thus it forms covalent compounds. Then after that, all the functional groups you need to revise. Then electron dot structure. The next important topic is electron dot structure. So like if they will ask, like draw the electron dot structure of methane. For this, first draw the general structure, like how the methane is there. Methane is formed by sharing 4 hydrogen with the carbon. Now each bond you can replace with one cross and one dot, as 2 electrons are needed for one bond formation. So this we can represent like one cross and dot. So always make the simple structure by given formula. With that you can convert it into electron dot structure. So here 8 electrons are there around the carbon. Now each hydrogen will form duplet structure, so sharing 2 electrons. So thus it is the structure of methane. Now coming to the structure of ethane. So here 2 carbon is there and 6 hydrogen. Share out hydrogen. So after having general structure, convert it into electron dot. So here carbon carbon 2 cross, between carbon and hydrogen cross and dot. So here carbons around the carbon, you need to have 8 electrons. This is how we can complete out electron dot structure. सुक्रोज का स्ट्रक्चर, सुक्रोज तक तुम लोगों को नहीं पूछेंगे. सुक्रोज जो है इट इज़ मिरर इमेज ऑफ ग्लूकोज. ठीक है, C6H12O6. ग्लूकोज का स्ट्रक्चर कैसा होता है देखो, 6 कार्बन है, CH2OH, कि ग्लूकोज का स्ट्रक्चर है, इसका मिरर इमेज सुक्रोज होता है, इसको अगर रिवर्स करेंगे तो सुक्रोज होगा। इतने कॉम्प्लिकेट तुम लोगों को 10th के लेवल में नहीं पूछा जाएगा, नो नीड टू प्रिपेयर फॉर दैट, ठीक है। सुक्रोज का स्ट्रक्चर जो है, it's a mirror image of glucose. They are not going to ask for that. So have the preparation with a simple level as per your board. Don't go out of track. So there will be no use. You'll get confused with that. Okay, next, after electron dot structure, what are the properties of carbon compounds? Like the main one they explained about ethanol and ethanoic acid. So you need to write about their physical property and chemical property. And here the most important reactions which we are having is hydrogenation. What is hydrogenation reaction? So here R double bond R dash to any unsaturated hydrocarbon. If hydrogen is added in presence of nickel catalyst, it will get converted into saturated hydrocarbon with the addition of hydrogen. So here double bond is there. Like for example, if we take CH2 double bond CH2, ethene, it will get converted into ethane by adding hydrogen. And what is the use of hydrogenation? Hydrogenation reaction is used for the conversion of vegetable ghee from vegetable oil. Okay, so this is one of the important question. Then what is combustion reaction? So it's simple only, like any compound, when it undergoes combustion, it produces carbon dioxide and water. So in the same way, carbon compounds like methane, if it is burned in oxygen, it will produce carbon dioxide, water, and along with that generation of heat. So the same property you can use for ethanol also. On combustion, it produces carbon dioxide, water, and heat is generated. Next, oxidation. When when ethanol is oxidized, it will convert into ethanoic acid, C2H5COOH. I can't understand what you mean to say. Okay, so here ethanol C2H5OH, on oxidation it will produce ethanoic acid. So here CH3COOH. The next one, all the reactions are very important. You need to prepare well for the esterification and saponification reaction, where they will ask like compound A is getting converted into compound B, and then its smell is like a sweet smell is being liberated. So like that, with unknown letters they will make the question. So learn those equations very properly. The beginning part is related to the structure formation, and end of the part where you need to practice out all the equations. So is there anyone, will you let me, like if you want to learn out the chemical properties or any chemical reaction regarding that chapter? If not, then I want to ask you questions. If you can answer, try to answer it. Then cleansing action of soap, that's also a very important question. So here I'll be giving few structures, try to name it. Those who can, try to name it. Is there anyone who is attending? Can you name it? Can you name it? Those who can, please comment. CH3, CH2, CO, CH3. Can you name it? Why there is no response? Those who are attending, can you name this compound? Nomenclature. No response at all. Okay, as today most of the 10th standard students are tired because of the paper. So relax for today. Tomorrow onwards we'll be having regular session where we'll be having revision of all the chapters one after other. So those who want to attend it, be regular and try to answer instead of just attending it silently. So let's continue class tomorrow. Tomorrow's timings will be by 4:30. Be ready by that timings, those who want to attend it. Thank you for today's class.